You've reached call in Mockery.
Hey, you already... shh.
Yeah, it's Call in Mockery. Call 319-DUBMIT, D-U-B-M-I-I-T. Once again, this week we've had a few issues with our phone line, and people are starting to not believe us. They're saying, you don't have a phone.
People keep reaching out and they say, first of all, what kind of props do you use in your films? Mm-hmm. They always look authentic. The throwing stars, the nunchucks that you use, how do you guys make it look so real? Mm-hmm. Everyone keeps reaching out to us about that. Yep. We can't tell you. But people also reach out and say, 319-DUBMIT, I try. Mm-hmm. It's the phone lines are down.
Just know that you will get through because, like, today I was trying to make an eye appointment. And so I called and they picked up. Okay. Ring, ring, ring. They pick up. Ring, ring, ring. And then I hear in the background. So someone has picked up, but they're not talking to me. Mm-hmm. And I go walking along for a little bit. And I finally go, hello? Hello? And they never answer. So I hung up and I was like, maybe it's because I answered with my headphones. You know how technology is.
Yeah.
Could always be something. I walk a little further. I go, I'm going to call again. Someone answers, hello, this is Dr. Beep. May I help you today? And I said, yeah, can I? And she goes, hello? And I was like, hello? And she goes, hello? Then she hangs up on me. So then I threw my headphones in the sewer, and Pennywise went, and then I put it on speakerphone.
What the hell?
So I put on speakerphone. I'm just walking. I'm like, I call again. Someone else answers.
One of those guys.
This is, Dee. How can I help you? And I'm like, as soon as I start to talk, I go, hey, yeah. And they go, hello? Hello? And then just hang up instantly.
Oh, my God.
I call again, get someone else. Same thing happens. Then I'm starting to worry my phone's broken. So I call someone else.
Sure.
And I said, hey, I'm just wondering if you got my phone call. Like, yeah, I can hear you fine. Mm-hmm. Oh, because I called again even later. I waited. I was at a different locale. Mm-hmm. And I called them. They could not hear me. So I'm like, what is this? Called someone else. They said, yeah, you sound fine. I was like, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. So I called them again. I get someone on the phone. I say, so this time they answer, Dr. Beep, how can I help you? And I say, can you hear me? And the guy goes, yeah, I can hear you fine. No, he's like, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, of course.
Crystal clear.
Weirdo.
Yeah, and I was like, sorry, there was some issues happening earlier when I tried to call. And then I hear nothing. So I go, so I just need to make an appointment. And he goes, all right, let me get your name and number. And I gave it to him. He goes, looks like we don't have an appointment for you. And I said, I need to make an appointment.
I know. That's what I'm calling.
Do I need to get a different eye doctor?
Sounds like it.
Hey, this is what I'm going to tell them. Sorry. I think we should see other people.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. 319-DUBMIT. That's funny because that happened to me today.
What?
First of all, here's a few things that I've been trying to... I'm going to let you finish your stories from now on the show. There's a few things... So now on the show, I'm not going to interrupt you with my little interruptions that I find comical and otherwise irreverent.
Interrupting cow.
What?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow who?
Moo!
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, me neither.
From now on, I'm going to just wait until the end of your story, and then I'm going to go back and do like footnotes, like it's a David Foster Wallace, Thomas Pynchon novel or something. I'm going to do the footnotes. So here's one thing you said. You kept saying I had to call again, and I wanted to say, you're like, Hey, call again, man! Hey, call again, man!
And you've got some. Do you have any more little?
Oh yeah.
footnotes?
So the calling thing that happened to me too today. Something broke at the house. Okay, we called number one on our list of repair people. We called them, and it didn't even ring. It just went like. And then I looked all over the internet for a different phone number. They have no presence online except their Google page, which has a bunch of good reviews and their phone number, but they don't have a website. They don't have this. They don't have that. They don't have Facebook, Instagram, all these things. So I call again. There's that call again thing, you know?
I'm not going to interrupt, though. I got to do this, too, because right now,
Yeah, there's
you're
too
watching
much.
the video, you're just seeing stick.
Get the stick out of the way.
This is the cool part of the concert. When they've come out, they've done like
Yeah.
2 songs, and then the lead singer goes, and they put the thing aside. How we doing?
New Jersey!
Call again, man.
When they finally put away Stick, I think the Netflix Daredevil show worked a lot better. I don't like that guy all the time in the show.
We don't like stick.
So I called them. Okay, no answer. The next most highly reviewed place, I call them. It rings twice, and then a robot voice says, "We're sorry. This phone number is unable to be reached right now. Bye." And then it just... So then I look all over there. The website here, no. They have like 6 different phone numbers. I can't get a hold of any single one of them. Then I go back to the first one, try them again. Then I go to the lady with whom I live.
Yep.
Say, "Can you try this?" Maybe it's my phone. Same deal. No answer there. So I don't know. The first place I think just doesn't exist anymore or something because we never got a hold of them. One of the numbers worked for the second place. A guy came. He scammed me for money. So I don't know why they have the second best reviews. It was very obviously the worst place you could go. He scammed me for money. Then I called the 6th place. And they said, "Oh yeah, we can come out Wednesday. It'll be like 1/6 the cost of the second guy." So that's kind of, when you were #adulting and you're going, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You have to call, you have to meet, and I hate calling.
No.
Can't we just all agree that texting is the way to go?
If you own a business, just text because we are so, as millennial Gen Z. What's the new one?
There's COVID variants, and then there's generational variants. There's more, they keep coming out with...
That's the thing. And I keep trying to get vaccines for all of them. So I'm like, Gen Z nasty. You know what I'm talking about?
Here's a vaccine. Here's my vaccine for Gen Z.
Huh.
I start talking about Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah. I start talking about Tamagotchis.
I say, "Remember Neopets?" And they look at me like I'm a goddamn Earth Angel.
I'm talking about, I'm like, Green Acres is the place to be. I got a Tamagotchi. Just all these things from our time period.
I do wonder about that, though, because I grew up on shows from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But I'm not from the 60s and 70s. And nowadays, but I think that was informative to who I am today.
That's why I love making jokes about Spiro Agnew.
But what is that? I don't think anyone has that anymore, right?
No.
Like, a kid today isn't watching The Cosby Show.
Where you even
Just because it's generationally
Right.
not appropriate. There's no other reason.
if they saw it, they'd say, Dr. Cosby, of course.
Heathcliff Huxtable.
We appreciate you. But what is that? Because is it too old for them?
Well, you just don't have to anymore. That's what was on.
Because you don't see it. After, what was that, 7 o'clock or something?
It's like, 7 p.m. Nick at Night, or you flip over to, like, all the channels that have the children programming become old people programming.
Yeah.
But then it's also funny because it's like, Green Acres is kind of funny.
And it's a little...
Mr. Ed,
Yeah.
I'm laughing my goddamn ace off. Andy Griffith, Three's
now what is
Company. What?
Now what is it? You go on Pluto TV and there's That's So Raven.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you're watching the iCarly reboot where they swear and talk about having smacks.
Yeah. And Freddie, come downstairs. I've got something to put up there. And you're like, I know that I'm 30. I don't want to see this. Yeah. And it's creeping up on us too much. iCarly ended like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It ended like 5 years ago. And they're like, remember iCarly? She's 19 now. Everyone's like, they're grown-ups like us. So they brought the show back. It's just too much. There's nothing to be nostalgic. Soon we're gonna be nostalgic for the future.
Whoa. Okay, George Carlin.
Soon we're gonna be nostalgic for the future, goofballs. You got goofballs.
Was that his fan base?
Yeah.
What's up, all my goofballs?
What's up, goofballs? When the goofballs come to see me, they know they're gonna have a wild time.
Ooh, balls, 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 balls.
You say goof, goof. You say balls, balls. Hey. I all said balls. They're weird. Then fast forward to his latest special, and he's like,
his latest.
and he's like this. He'd like that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a dirty old man. The government wants you to suck their toes. And everyone's like, woo, your background's a house. The stage is a house. What do you want me to do, a play for you? Here's a play.
No.
Bend over.
Yeah, so Carlin lost it. What else? Carly lost it. What else? Here's something I was thinking. Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe.
That's what you were thinking?
Here, listen to this.
Okay.
Sleepy Joe, Sloppy Joe. Something clicked in my head over the weekend. Was he always Donald Trump junior Was he always making fun of him as kind of a slight pun on Sloppy Joe?
That is actually good. Maybe that is. Sleepy Joe is Sloppy Joe. Well, he's always got, there's Meatball Ron.
Yeah, he's like obsessed with food.
Meatball Ron and wants to run against my father, Donald Trump Sr.
Senior.
So there's Meatball Ron, there's Sloppy Joe. Because, yeah, Sleepy Joe. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it does. It's kind of snappy anyway, but is it snappy because we've already heard Sloppy Joe?
Maybe that's not a connection he made.
He might not have, but it does work because in our head it's like, yeah, Sloppy Joe.
But
Sleepy Joe,
something
Sleepy
sounded
Joe.
good.
Yeah. Meatball Ron, that is funny.
If someone runs for president and their name is Jane and he again uses Sleepy, we'll know because we'll be like, he's doing Sloppy Jane. Have you ever had a Sloppy Jane?
No. What is that? What's different? No meat?
Go to Vegas, you'll find out. Hey, I don't know what a Sloppy Jane is. Let me look it up. Turn my safe search off.
Sloppy Jane.
I've had one before.
I think that's a band, isn't it? Like an indie band.
Sloppy Jane Apple commercial. Sloppy Jane Bark Like a God.
Yeah, that's like a band, isn't it?
Sloppy Jane. Hold on.
It's like Soccer Mommy, Soccer Daddy, Sloppy Jane.
Okay, here's what a slop. I think I made up Sloppy Jane. Sloppy Jane, the defined dish.
The defined dish? It is a band. I was right.
It is, but I'm not going to say that on air.
I was right.
Sloppy Jane.
Not on this show.
This is one of these dumb ass websites. Okay, so this one says a Sloppy Jane. Okay. Meet Sloppy Jane, Sloppy Joe's super fit and sexy wife. Ha! But seriously, a fun twist on the old classic. This dish is super filling and absolutely delicious. People are getting, not only are they getting a little bit of fun comedy in this episode, you're also going to learn about, if you're driving, you might want to pull over because your stomach is going to be grumbling. Ground beef tossed in a delicious and savory sauce, stuffed in a lovely baked sweet potato. That's not what mine was. I think mine was vegetarian. This Sloppy Jane dinner is so satisfying and one that the whole family will just love.
Why did you think you kind of bristled at the idea of the sweet potato and said mine was vegetarian, so it wasn't that?
Well, because the main thing in the sweet potato is ground beef.
Yeah. But you were confused by the sweet potato aspect, not the ground beef.
Mine just had buns, hun.
Say, did you watch anything this year?
I started F9, so I look forward to resuming my journey on the fast track, but I've yet to finish it now. God, I really haven't watched any... What's that? Hold on, there's a fly in the office. I haven't really watched any movies. Been watching a lot of TV shows.
What are you watching TV? Jesus.
Mr. Belch. Finished, almost finished the new season of course, Righteous Gemstones. I've already talked about all these shows. I'm trying to think if there's anything new that I've watched that I can say, hey, it's a new show. What do you got?
Oh, I remembered one other thing that happened today.
What's up?
Before we get into what we watched. Something else that was kind of funny. People were kind of crazy today. I had the phone conversation, and the guy tried to scam me for money.
That's crazy.
And I did get scammed, luckily.
But you got it back.
I got it back.
You've been avenged.
I've been avenged, revenged, and stonehenged. That's George Carlin. There's revengers and avengers.
Hold on, I'm taking notes. Continue your story.
Okay. So we went through a drive-through situation today, and the car in front of us...
So a drive-through.
Yeah. The car in front of us, we're waiting,
Mm-hmm.
The car in front of us... the car in front of us goes... No, just darn fly. The car in front of us drives into the building. Not fast, so nothing happened, but the turn to... It's one of those where the drive-through is like kind of clear back in the parking lot, and then you'd like come up toward, to the building. They didn't cut their turn hard enough, so they went... So then they started reversing, and I was right behind them, so I was scared because I just saw them drive into a not moving building. So they didn't look like they were going to notice that I was there, so I gave them a little warning toot.
Uh-huh.
They stop immediately, go into drive, but then they... honk back at me like they're mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you think? I just saw you drive into the building. I'm not going to trust that you're not going to reverse right into me. I know you're flustered. So then they straightened out and went through the drive-thru, and then the guy at the drive-thru was like, "Are you guys okay? Did they hit you?" "They hit our building." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I saw." He was like, yeah, that was really weird. They just drove into the building. Yep. So anyway, that was kind of interesting. Now, what did you watch?
So, well, I've got a note on that, which is I remember buying the Avengers movie for $5 from Walmart as a kid with Uma Thurman.
Oh yeah.
This is not the Avengers you think it is. It's based on an old TV show.
There's no one quite like me in it, is there?
No, there's not, Mr. Junior. But because of that story, now I give you a story.
Yes.
Another. I always like when you go to a drive-thru and they have the little, like the pole right next to where the window is.
Yeah.
The little drive-thru window, and you just see every color of the rainbow painted onto it.
Yeah.
From people slamming their windows up against it.
Yep.
Anyway, I go to the dentist this morning, and this is a dentist where you must park in a parking lot. Okay?
Making a note. Go ahead.
And so there's a little thing you must hit the button, get a ticket, go in. They're not going to pay for you. Okay? Because I said, "Do you valet or whatever, validate?" Like a cool guy.
Validate.
I said, "Do you valet these?" And they're like, "Idiot." But they said, "No, unless you've been over here for like 3 hours or something." I was like, "So if I stay longer, it's free?" And then they said, "Oops." So there's a big line backed up. They told me to get there early because of construction, so I did as I was told. But what they didn't say was also the thing that makes the tickets come out doesn't work. Because some guy's up there hitting the button. He's like, "Hey." And then he looks back at all of us like, And we're like, I don't know. But he's trying to make, like, he's like,
Yeah.
he's really showing off, like, I'm hitting the button. It's like, yeah, I see you. I don't know what to do. But there are people that are behind me that can't see him that are just like, they're furious.
Yeah, of course.
So he finally gets a ticket or something somehow. The thing opens. I look in the little box next to where you get your ticket, and of course no one is in there. So he gets through. Someone else gets through. Someone else has problems. Someone else doesn't. It's just random. Then I get up there, and of course nothing. Doesn't work. Hitting the button. Hitting. Finally, someone kind of strolls into the little box. They take off their jacket. They sit down. They start texting. And I'm like, so I have to hit the call help thing. And I'm like, there's no tickets. And she goes, just remember what time you came in. Okay. So now I've gone in.
That's not going to work.
Told me that all my teeth are going to fall out. I come out. And then the person in front of me goes up to leave. And they tell the little pipsqueak in that window, like, I don't have a ticket. And they're like, what? I don't have a ticket. And they're like, So then he's like, hey, man, you got to back up because I got to deal with this. But then there's someone behind me, and they don't know what's going on. So I start backing up. They're trying to get out of the parking lot, and I'm trying to back up, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, pointing, like, the guy, I'm supposed to, he's telling me to back up. So then they deal with that. Then I go up to the window, and he's like, you don't have a ticket either? I say, He goes, what time did you come in? I say 8:55, and he goes, and then he kind of looks, and he's about to hit the button, and then the thing just opens for me, and he's like, all right. So I didn't have to pay, but it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And just no, like the two boxes, by the way, are right next to each other. Like the way you get in and the way you get out are maybe 5 feet from each other. So the fact that they are then calling the person in the box next to us, and they didn't tell them like, hey, they're not getting tickets.
Yeah.
Just let them all out.
That happened to me once in Iowa City.
Oh.
Where I pulled in I tried to get a ticket, but the thing rose with no ticket. So I pulled in and immediately pulled around to the person. And I was like, I just came in and it didn't give me a ticket. And they were like, what? No. And I was like, yes. Yeah. And they're like, so what? You're trying to just leave? And I could tell that they thought I had parked and was trying to get for it free.
They never gave me it. And like, I just got here.
If you looked that way, you would have seen me coming in. It was right next to you. But yeah, so they gave me the old runaround, and I was like, look, I literally just came in. You can look at the tape. You can check. There has to be a way to see that I just came in and came right to you to tell you that your machine is broken. I don't know what you want me to do. Your machine is broken. It's not my fault. And she was like, normally we would charge you a $30 no ticket fee. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't normal.
Did you say go press the button?
I said,
you should have go push the button and get a ticket.
She said that normally we would charge you $30, but whatever, just go.
Whoa.
And she raised the thing, and I was like, I'm really not trying to get away with anything. The machine is broken. If you go look. And she was like, all right. So I just drove away.
But you also needed to park, right?
Yeah. I'm sure I just...
You had to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I went to a different lot.
That's funny.
That's just kind of funny. And I know because people... I'm sure they do get that a lot where people are like, I don't know. It's just...
that's so weird. It actually didn't freaking give me one 3 days ago. Like your car's been parked in here for 3 days.
But then sometimes I would park at a parking garage, and then like after midnight, it's just free.
It is open.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, why do I ever pay?
Right. I've left, if it's been a certain amount of time, I have then just left it until midnight. If I'm like going to be downtown, I'm like, let's stay out for another hour. Shirley Temple's on me. And everyone's like, extra cherries, extra cherries. I want 2 swords. I want 2 swords. And then after midnight, the thing goes up and we're like, go, 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 go.
Points for you.
Points for you. And may God have mercy on your soul.
I, too, went to the dentist.
Today?
Just this past week.
Wow. We must be on the same cycle.
Yeah, I think
When
so.
our
Because
cycles line up,
I
you're
think-
not going to want to hear this
No.
podcast. Woo!
I think last year we did a full episode talking about our dentist experience.
Oh, and I got more. Just a lot about her husband again.
Okay.
Just the whole thing was about I'm married and it's my anniversary and my husband.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to do anything. Simply clean my... Oh, then she did ask me...
My mouth is full of your hands.
Something came up because her hands were in my mouth, she goes, so what'd you do this weekend? And then just silence. And I was like, uh-huh. Because I'm not kidding. This is not a situation where they are not yes or no questions.
Yeah.
So finally I thought, I was like, I went to a film festival because I did. And she goes, did you see whatever? And then she's like, so what'd you see? Puts her hands back in my mouth. It just was on and on. Then I told her,
I know.
I was like, I had something in there. And she goes, so what's it about? And then the longest time her hands are in my mouth. And then she asked me again, almost like I'm rude. And then I tell her, and then she goes, oh, that's cute. And then puts her, then she was telling me about, she was like, I went to see Craig Ferguson last night. I was like, oh yeah, I knew he was in town. She was like, me and my husband always go see stand up. We went to see Whitney Cummings last couple months ago. And then before that, we saw Bob Saget a long time ago. So I was like, yeah, so you go all the time.
2 shows.
And I was like,
years
yeah.
apart.
And I was like, she's like, so you like comedy? Something about comedy came up in Second City. And I was like, I think the last person I saw was John Mulaney. And she goes, oh, okay. I was like, what do you want me to do? Craig Ferguson is your guy? Like John Mulaney's too
Who's your
mainstream?
guy? Yeah. She's
I'm
like,
like, who are your guys? She's like, God, Carlin. Young Carlin.
young Carlin,
I'm like, there we
old
go.
Ferguson, and Whitney Cummings, everyone's favorite comedian.
So what do you want from me?
she's probably on team Anna Marie Tendler.
I probably.
She's like,
I think that's because she went, oh. Then she went, yep. Got a bike this weekend. And I was like, okay. And she's like, rode it. I got my husband a bike. So then he said, well, where's your bike? Because, we do stuff together. And I was like, okay. She goes, yep. I got to tell you, those little seats do a number on your,
no, she did.
Well, she goes, God, I'm glad I get to sit down at work, because of the bike.
No.
And I'm just like, and she's like, and swallow, and close, and spritz.
Okay, here's what's the weird thing. So wait, your dentist cleans your teeth? It's not the pre?
I'm sorry. Am I an idiot? Yeah, my dentist cleans.
Well, that's never my experience.
Okay, well, I have a dental assistant.
The hygienist or whatever the
Okay.
hell. They do all the work, and then the dentist comes in and flicks around your teeth, go ding, ding, ding. Looks good.
Yeah, she started cleaning them. Then the dentist came in. It's very... I want to go to a place where everyone knows your name. Where they go, Joey! And I'm like, another round over here, and they're like... She came in and said, yeah, it looks about the same as last time. I was like, okay. And then she's like, well, see ya. And then the other lady's like, now lean back. And then she gets the gunk machine, right?
Yeah.
And she does that. I gotta go to a different place. Damn fly.
The weird thing that happened to me this time, go back and listen to the old episode. At this point, my problems with the dentist in general are well stated, I think.
Yes. Go into our thing and type in dental, damn. I think.
But this is a new damned fly. This was a new dental whatever the hell cleaner lady that I've ever had at this office. Okay.
Yeah.
She leans me back. She starts going, and then I open my mouth. I'm the type of person, I don't care. Do whatever you need to do in there. I'm opening wide for you.
Yeah. But sometimes it's too wide.
I've never had that before. She goes, and close your mouth. So then I was like self-conscious, like kind of looking at myself in the little light above, like trying to. For those that you can't see, I'm kind of making sure that trying to find the perfect opening space for my mouth. But it's like, why don't you want to just open?
Yeah, because then they'll go close it. Or they'll kind of, it's like, sorry, I didn't know I was doing something wrong.
I always
got
thought,
stupid goggles on. And
yeah, they're like, yeah, wear this for safety. I don't want some of the fudge you ate last night to come flying up into your eyeball. But why is that? Is it because, then I was talking about it with the woman with whom I live, and I was saying this thing that I say all the time that I've never actually fact checked, but I've just heard that dentists are the most suicidal of all doctors.
Most unalived.
Unaliveable of all doctors, because they stare decay in the face all day long, every day.
So maybe there's too much decay.
I feel like she's like, I don't need to look at the whole thing.
I'm pretty sure it's just because when you close a little bit, you get more of the Joker sides of your mouth. Like it's tight on the sides, but if you close it, you can go, how did I get these smiles? You want to know how I got these smiles, Jack?
I don't know. But it made me self-conscious.
Yeah, I got like 2 of those today. It was open too wide. As if I'm being some sort of perverted queen or something.
Yes, yeah. Close your mouth a little.
Speaking of that, there's a guy, I cannot speak much about this, but let's just say someone, no, I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't say someone's last name on the show.
All right, did you watch anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to say no. I'm sure I did. Hey, I'm sure I did. Oh, you know what I watched? No, I'm not. I'm just going to say no. Well, I finished that They Shall Not Grow Old or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not much of a resolution there. There's like, and then the war was over. And then we went downtown and they was giving out treats. And we got the treats and they said, welcome back, laddie. And one guy said, where have you been? And I said, I was at war. And then they said, well, get to sweeping, bitch. And then it's like, do, 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 do.
Peter Jackson.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, sounds great.
What'd you watch?
There's a little horror film on Netflix that we've been wanting to watch called The Strays. Have you ever seen anything?
The Strays.
The Strays. It's in London. And it's about an affluent black woman.
In London town?
Yes. Who, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, I guess, but basically she's kind of, there's something about her past that comes back to haunt her, okay? Now, actually, I should spoil it because it's not a movie worth watching, unfortunately.
For Neve, life in the posh suburbs was a reprieve from reality. But when her past comes back to haunt her, the truth will come out.
Mm-hmm. It's post Get Out, post Babadook. We talk about it all the time, but especially post Get Out. It's like Jordan Peele, Chat GPT script of like, it's crazy. It's actually kind of crazy how like just bad it is. And like, I think it might accidentally be more racist than anti-racist. Some of the stuff that happens in it is like, what? But I would say don't watch it.
I should send this to someone. This looks good.
It looks really good. Visually, it's...
Well, that's the problem with movies now.
Yeah,
anyone can make something look good.
Yeah.
You can go, that looks good.
Yeah.
Story's complete shite.
Yeah. That's why we here at... what are we doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.